The arresting officer, Noah Warner, wrote he showed several signs of impairment.
All a man's got is his reputation.
If you had just one case, that would be one thing. But in this officer's case, you have 3 people who were sober and arrested for DUI.
Doesn't necessarily tell me anything. Obviously, it's concerning looking at them, and I'm saying, I'm not sure how I fix this.
And an ongoing WSMV4 investigation shows it's not just Goodlettsville. Police are arresting sober people for DUIs all over the mid-state.
And they make them take the test. I always say this, not everyone is going to pass it, and not just because they're drunk. You can be sober and still fail. It's very easy, especially if you're above a certain age or if you have some disabilities, you understand? You may not see the disabilities as I see them, but overweight is one of them when it comes to that test, you understand? And it's not that many people can really balance. You know, I do legs and I train legs every day, and if you're not training legs, you're not gonna be able to balance as good, you understand? You could be tired. It's many factors that fall under that right there. So with that being said, this has to do with one officer arresting 3 sober drivers for DUI. How? I have no clue. We're about to see right now. If you like reactions like this, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell. Let's see how this is about to play out. Let me stop wasting your time. Let's go, baby.
I certainly regret that, and I really deeply I hurt for what they went through.
That is an apology from the police chief of Goodlettsville to innocent people arrested by his police department.
A WSMV4 investigation uncovered multiple DUI arrests dismissed from arrests, all made by one officer in Goodlettsville.
So it's the latest discovery by Chief Investigative Reporter Jeremy Finley into how you can be sober and still get a DUI.
Performing a field sobriety test is not what Jeff Adams expected last September as he was heading to his job as a teacher in Brentwood.
I figured I could pass it because I wasn't drinking. I was on my way to school. It was 5:52 a.m.
Video recorded by an officer shows Adams didn't do well standing on one leg.
See, this is exactly what I was talking about. I'm not body shaming. I am not body shaming him. I'm just pointing out the obvious. There's no way he's going to be able to balance. He's out of shape right there. He's going to be moving a lot. They're going to mistake it with him being drunk. My entire thing is, why not give him the breathalyzer first? If that comes inconclusive, then guess what? He's not drunk. Otherwise, it will come up that he's drunk. It will give a proper reading for you to continue on with the test. But it seems like when you pass one test, they give you another test. For each test you pass, they give you another one. Make it make sense. I believe they should stop it at that point.
Still, Adams couldn't believe what happened next. Listen.
Sir, I have not drank a can. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs.
And Adams wasn't lying. 4 months later, his blood test results show no alcohol, no drugs. But the arresting officer, Noah Warner, wrote he showed several signs of impairment.
I don't think you're safe to operate a motor vehicle.
Can I call my school to let them know that I need a substitute?
The case against Adams was ultimately dismissed. The damage, though, was already done.
Talk about damage. You know, being a teacher having a DUI is not a good look. That's a possible ground for termination. On top of that, the DMV is involved now. I wonder how they resolve this issue right here. I really wonder how. They should really dismiss every DUI case this cop has ever entered, which means is they got to go back into the DMV files and fix everyone's license and get that off their record. And whoever lost their job behind this, they should be able to sue.
It was the most traumatic experience to know that I'm being arrested. I'm about to be fingerprinted, mugshotted. All a man's got is his reputation and his name. And it's getting smeared, and I didn't appreciate it.
Chokes you up a little bit.
It does.
And a WSMV4 investigation found this isn't the only DUI arrest made by Officer Werner that was dismissed. Turns out Adams is the 3rd sober driver to be arrested by Werner for a DUI last year.
There's a problem. There's a pattern, is what this is.
I certainly regret that, and I really deeply I hurt for what they went through.
Chief Gary Goodwin is Warner's boss at Goodlettsville Police.
If you had just one case, that would be one thing. But in this officer's case, you have 3 people who were sober and arrested for DUI. So what does that tell you?
It doesn't tell him anything because the news had to bring it to his attention. Not one time did he say, let me investigate some of these, some of these accusations. People are saying they were in drinking. Let me see why they're saying that. No. How they see it, everyone's guilty. My officers are reputable. I am not going to second guess them. I'm sure that was the rhetoric.
Who were sober and arrested for DUI. So what does that tell you?
It doesn't necessarily tell me anything. Obviously, it's concerning. You hate it for these 3 people.
Goodwin admits he's frustrated by the situation. Look at the reports. All 3 drivers, including Adams, showed multiple signs of impairment. In one case, a driver had a half-empty beer can in the driver's side door, but they were all found to be sober.
I'm looking at them and I'm saying, I'm not sure how I fix this.
And an ongoing WSMV4 investigation shows it's not just Goodlettsville. Police are arresting sober people for DUIs all over the mid-state. And because of a backlog at the TBI for alcohol and toxicology reports, we found some innocent drivers are waiting 8 months to get results back. And in many times, sober drivers are asking for breathalyzers. Listen. But they didn't. You can see in the video, Adams was taken to get a blood draw instead. After that, he was taken to jail.
Why not use a breathalyzer each time? That would at least tell you if that person had been drinking alcohol.
You know what it was? They find it hard to believe that he was sober. That's what it was. That's why they went ahead and went with the blood test. They could have just gave him the breathalyzer. Instead, they took him to the doctor to get a blood test. Make it make sense. If you ask me, that's intrusion. That's a violation right there. Why are you taking my blood for?
So many people that we see now, they're under the influence, but it's not necessarily alcohol.
And a blood test, which takes longer to get back, is the only way to know for sure.
I just put myself in their position, and how would I feel if this happened to me?
Adams knows how it feels each and every time he drives past where he was arrested.
Sometimes I'll refer to it as the scene of the crime because it was a crime against me.
Jeff Adams kept his job as a teacher. He was not suspended. The additional problem is that he also drives for Uber, and because of his arrest, Uber suspended him, and he estimates he lost out on $15,000 in potential earnings.
Jeremy, this story was so hard to watch. So is Goodlettsville Police doing anything different as a result of this?
Well, the chief says they're reviewing these cases to see if there's anything they need to be doing differently.
I know what they need to be doing differently. They need to fire that officer and many more to come who decide to take the law in their own hands. You understand?
In their field sobriety testing. But the real challenge is that there are so many real drunk drivers, police can't take the risk of not arresting somebody, even if they suspect them of being intoxicated. But these drivers are angry and they are asking for change.
I'm over here in the East Coast and I'm asking for change for y'all. You understand? Listen, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Run it up, flood it up. Do you agree with these tactics or do you disagree? I want to know your input. On that note, if you made it to this part of the video, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell. I will see you in the next one.